Hey, ladies and gents, it's Zem. Yeah, where the fuck has he been? Well, let's see here. I'll tell you a story, and yeah. Sunday, I believe, we had a lightning storm go through, and it fried everybody in the fucking neighborhood. Neighbors all lost their stuff. I lost my stuff. They had to put a brand new pedestal in, a brand new cable line from the ditch all the way back to the house. I had to put all brand new cabling in my house, a new modem, a new router, and yeah, it was epic. So I haven't had internet for a while. I even actually had to do some repair on my computer because it apparently fried the Ethernet connection on the back of the computer. And when I turned the computer on, it was speaking ancient Sumerian to me, and it was fucking disaster. Fried both of my external hard drives that were on that power strip along with the modem and the router. So I had to re-download everything. That's what I've been doing for the last few days. Yeah, it was quite a deal, and I was just about to get a new computer. I told my wife, I said, you're going to be, if I don't get a new computer, we watched the movie Virus with Jamie Lee Curtis in it. I said, that's what the fuck is in my computer right now. We need to go drown it in some salt water and get me a new, gaming computer. And she's like, eh. But she's been with me for 20 years, so her bullshit detector is like dialed to like 100. So she's I tried. I really did. So I'm back online, and I get this question a lot from people. What is the best premium tanks in World of Tanks, specifically with the 357 matchmaking? And so I thought I'd start out with the mediums. Now I own, I believe, every premium medium in the game, and some that I won in contests, all kind of stuff. And I'm going to be straight up honest with you. For usability, ease of use, doesn't require a whole lot of, I shouldn't say knowledge, but yeah, I mean, some of them say, for example, the Lorraine 40-ton, the Progetto, those kind of tanks, the potential to do massive amounts of damage, but are kind of a hard tank to play because if you have never played an autoloader before, and you don't understand how they work, they're not easy tanks to play. However, there's a T-54 Mod 1. That's a great tank. Probably one of my favorite tanks, especially at Tier 8, until this tank came out. The Centurion 5.1. Right now, in my opinion, this tank is the best Tier 8 premium medium tank in 357 matchmaking. Why is that? Well, because of its... and I'll be honest, it has so many things going for it. Is its turret armor. Its armor in general. This turret with 254 millimeters of penetration, or 254 millimeters of armor, is almost impossible to pen by most tier 10s. And I'm talking about fighting tier 10s and tier 9s with these tanks. I'm not saying that you're going to get into 6s and 7s on occasion. You're going to run into 8s, solely 8s sometimes. But for the most part, if you're going to be playing 357 matchmaking, you're going to be bottom tier all the time. This is the tank that, for the most part, can handle that game better than the other tier 8 premium tanks. Of course, everybody's going to do it's going to be like, wow, what about the Lord? Yeah, I get that part of it. But for your average player getting into World of Tanks, if you're going to buy a premium tier 8 vehicle, a medium tank specifically, if you're not doing it for crew training just to make money, and you want a tank that's going to be a solid performer in 8, 9s, and 10s, or specifically against 9s and 10s, the Chieftain or the Centurion 5.1 is the tank to go with. Why? Because it's got, like I said, several different reasons. The turn armor is fabulous. You can hold down. Gun depression, 10 degrees. 2.11 aiming time, 0.3 dispersion, 226 average penetration with that gun. So yeah, great penetration for a premium. I mean, we're talking tier 9 medium penetration with this gun. Great dispersion, great aim time. And like I said, with that 10 degrees gun dispersion and that really tough turret, you can hold down and take on a lot of shit. Most of the time, even if they're even tier 10 switch to heat rounds, a lot of times you're going to bounce them. You got a 50-50 chance with a heat round. Regular AP, most of the time, 90% of the time, you're going to bounce them. Yagpens or E100s, fucking, I've bounced shells off the turret with this thing. So, as a solid average player, if you're looking for a tier 8 premium tank that's going to make you money, that doesn't require a whole bunch of knowledge, I'm talking about autoloaders and all that kind of stuff, If you want a tank that you can just find something to hold down, you know, there's tons of stuff on every map that you can put this tank into position to do well in. And that's what I'm trying to get to with this point. What I'm trying to make of this tank is this is a very solid tier 8 tank, good enough penetration to deal with any tier 10 mediums you run into. A lot of times dealing with even tier 10 heavies with regular AP, no problem. Tier 9 heavies, no problem. Tier 9, you know, it's got enough. It has the penetration where you don't have to sling a bunch of premium shells. You know, unlike some of the premium tier 8 vehicles. Yeah, it doesn't have a problem penetrating whatever it's shooting at most of the time. And if you do have to switch to a premium round, if you run into, say, you know, an E100 or something like that with more armor than God, or T110 or whatever, it does have an APC around of 254, which is plenty good enough to penetrate most of the tank's lower plates, yeah, and weak spots. So, in my opinion, and I'm going to bring up a couple games for you to kind of show you what I'm talking about with how strong this tank is or can be in 357 matchmaking, and hopefully you guys are get what I'm trying to say here. And I'm not saying none of the other premiums are shit. I'm not saying that. Nobody gets in the big... I'm just saying, as a solid, average tanker going to get into this game or looking for a good premium tank to play in the 357 matchmaking, this, in my opinion, is the best tier 8 premium medium right now. So with that said, I'm going to bring up some games for you. Actually, my last game with this one was an ace tanker and a Coles medal, a mace medal, yeah, 107,000, 7 bonds received. I think the other one I got is like a 2,800 damage or something like that in the tier 9, first class, Confederate, all kinds of other shit. This tank just is a solid performer. You get into the tank, as long as you know what you're going to be playing with, which is get hull down and fucking shoot shit, you're going to be fine in this tank. This tank is going to perform every time, every game, the exact same way. You don't have to worry, like I said, no autoloader, don't have to worry about shitty armor, that kind of stuff. You get hull down and you shoot stuff. That's as simple as you can get. Tough armor on the hull, on the turret, good gun. It just does everything real well. So with that said, I'm going to bring up the gameplay for you guys to check out. Alright guys, back with the first gameplay in the Centurion 5.1. You know what, I did a review on this tank a while ago when it first came out, and I think I gave it a 1 or I maybe gave it 2 thumbs up. One of the fucking few premium tanks I ever give that much rating to. It's not the fastest thing in the world, it's not the most mobile medium. However, like I said, with that really nice gun and that great gun handling and that strong turret, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here. So this is a tier 10 battle. A couple 9s, some 8s, yeah. So this is what you're typically going to see in a 357 battle. And like I said, what the strong part about this tank, of course, is the turret, and it's pretty punchy, not punchy gun, but with the gun handling and whatnot, it makes it so much better. With that being said, being a solid tier 8 premium in a 357 world is fucking hard. Yeah, there is some premium tanks that are, you know, some mediums that are probably going to be better than this tank in a 8 and down, or I'm thinking Progetto with the fucking sheer the Lorraine for the amount of damage it can do in a couple seconds. However, dealing with heavies and mediums that are up tiered from you, it's not the easiest. This is one of the few tanks, if not the only. The Primo Victoria is another tank, because it's very similar to the Centurion 5.1 that does pretty well. However, where the Centurion 5.1 really makes the difference is, of course, is that upper plate there that has another almost 60 more millimeters of armor, because this is an up armored Centurion. So we've lost the IS-3 right off the bat, and we got our first target coming up here with the FV4005. Of course, like I said, 0.3 dispersion, 2.1 second aim time, puts the shells out pretty quick here. And I'm just playing the ridge here, and this is what I'm showing you, the strong suit of this tank. You get into these positions, and there's every place you go, every map, there's hold down positions, there's rubble, there's blown up tanks, whatever, and that's what you're going to be using here with this tank here. So pull up in here. I got the FV looking at me. Come on, what are you doing, buddy? One more. Put him in there. Finish him off. There goes a big target out of the way here. So now I got nothing but heavies in front of me, which is great because I was on MT9 in this one, and I actually did finish it. I needed to do 2,000 damage to tier. I needed to do 2,000 damage to heavy tanks plus kill 1 or kill 2, I think. So, like I said, already up to 930 blocked. I have nothing to fear from anything here with the angle I'm sitting at, and of course then everybody's just shooting AP. Even with the heat round like that T10 with the heat round right there, you know, that's a tier 10 gun. This thing does not have a problem. And I can pen a T10 absolutely no problem with this 230 penetration here. Put another shell into him. Yeah. So now I got all these heavies in front of me here. Oh, RHM decides to take a shot at me. Yeah, that's alright. But with that, like I said, once again, with that ridiculously good, I should say ridiculously good, that good pen of 230 pen, you're not fucking spamming a bunch of premium rounds to penetrate a lot of these tanks. 9s, no problem, at least the heavy tank-wise most of the time. Some of the 10s you might have to switch to a little bit of a premium round, but for the most part this gun does just fine, especially when you're dealing with even tier 10 mediums. This gun does just fine with the 230 pen. So, not only are you going to make money, you're going to survive, you're going to bounce shit. I'm already at 1,420 blocked. Yeah, that's just what this thing does. This map, of course, works great on the Westfield. Either this side or the other side, I can hold down on multiple positions. So I come over here, got the 705 coming through here. There you go, give me your side. Finished off the 705. And now I have the T10 once again in front of me. The Wheezy 111 comes up, sneaks up from behind. That's nothing I can do about that. That's fine. So, waiting for my track to get repaired. And, yeah. But like I said, if you're looking for one of those tanks that is just a solid performer at the 357 matchmaking, it's pretty hard to beat a Centurion 5.1. Wheezy's like, no, there's nothing there's not a thing you can do about it, Wheezy, because like I said, 254 millimeters of armor on the turret. It just owns even these higher tier guns. There's not a whole lot they can do. I mean, occasionally you will get penetrated by some premium round if they happen to hit, at just the right angle here. Pull around here. Oh, there we go. Finished off the Type 5. So quick game, 3,200 damage, 1,100, and almost 2K blocked. Yeah, it is that strong. So I got one more game for you guys, just to give you once again more of an idea about this tank. Okay, so I actually thought about doing 3 games because one, I didn't realize the first game was only 5 minutes long, but we'll get back to that here. So once again, another tier 10 matchup here with the Centurion 5.1, and yeah. This is one of those fucking games that just goes to shit in it. Yeah, it goes so bad so quickly it's not even funny. So off to the races here. Typically I like to go up to the AB line, up in the 7, 8, 8, 9 area, but there's usually got to be one condition before I get up there. Somebody's got to take out that knob at E5. If there's a tank that's up on E5, I don't go up to the 7, 8, 9 line because he just proxy lights them and gets fucking wrecked. So, we have nobody going there to challenge where the Object 140 is, so I'm not going to even try it. So away we go. We're going to pull up in here, and we're going to play, once again, with our positioning with this tank. So, pull up in here, pick up the Object 140. No. What are you doing, buddy? Nothing. Instead, we got the IS-3. He's pulling up here. I'll put a nice shell onto him. Like I said, great accuracy on this gun. You're not going to struggle with it. And IS-3's like, no, he didn't even fucking aim, and he still somehow hit me. Wasn't that too worried about it. Wasn't going to pin me anyway. 140. Ooh, I'd really like to knock this guy out. Because here's what I was talking about earlier. The 140 gets the crossfire up to the TVP, and the Progetto 46s get the crossfire down to where the Object 140 is. So, going up that hill without having that top of that where the 140 is never a good thing. So that's why you're seeing me hang back here so far. However, the game is not going well. We've already lost our artillery. How, I don't know. Fuck. One of those things. I just can't say enough about this Centurion 5.1 for what it can do. So the Progetto finished him off. We have no way of holding that position on the top here. So pull up here, see if I can get a shot on the IS-3. Nope, he's pulled back too far. And let's see if we can knock off something else here. Scorpion G's up there further. Wheezy's backed off, E50's backing off, and yeah, it's not going too hot. However, the other side is completely pushed through for the most part, and we are down 2-1 right now, 3-1. I'm sorry. Pick up the 103 here. Yep, lower plate, no problem. Like I said, type tier 9 heavies. Really not much of an issue with this tank to put a shell into them. That one went a little bit high here. Let's see if we can get that 103 here. Greco Suave. See if I can hit the cupola. Doesn't quite get it here. So now we got him pushing in here. There's the Progetto. It's 103 here. See if I can get another shot into him before I have to leave. I got spotted, of course. And not quite. 103 tries to put a shell into me. Nope. Not going to happen. You have no chance of penetration on that. I've looked now. I've seen everybody has left me here. We are down 3-1 right now. Oh, one of those things here. So we're going to back up here, keeping that front turned. And, you know, that's one of the nice thing about the Centurion 5.1. You can play the heavy roll if you have to, as long as you got something to hold down behind. You can obviously play the medium roll if you have to. You know, that's one of the great things about this tank here. So the 53-55 takes a fucking shot at me. Let's see here if I can put a shell in the Progetto. What? Completely misses. Of course, my cruise is done, so I couldn't hit the broadside of the barn if I wanted. So bam, we're down 2-6. We're down 4 tanks. No, we're down 2-7. We're down 5 tanks. That was what happened to the South Bush. Yeah, they just pushed right on through and got fucking clobbered as they come in here. So I got the E50 with me. Wheezy 111.5A decided to come back. I'm not sure what that was all about. That's all right. We got the Progetto 46, 2 Progetto 46s, and a T57 here, which could be a problem. And a 103. So the T57, he's going to make a mad dash across the center. I'm not sure what the fuck that's all about. They're pushing up here on the 430 and the Object 140. They finish them off. Here, pick up the T57 here. Oh, there we go. Get the track shot on the Type 57. Oh, not much you can do now, buddy. There we go. Get another shot into his track. And for just shits and giggles here, we'll finish him off. Finishes off the T57 here. I got the Progetto 46 here. E50 is on him. He's got the little gun, so I'm not terribly worried about him. He's got much higher DPM. We're still down 5.9. And it's not looking good. E50's almost got him dead. We still have the 103 here. Not sure what he's up to. There we go. Pick up the 103 coming through here. Put a shell into him. And one more. Oh, get spotted here. I thought, well, I was probably in the clear, but of course, the Centurion 7.1 is fucking still hanging out in the bushes, because why not? So we've kind of even backed up to a 7-10 match. However, they have a full health Fok 155. And there's just me and E50, and of course the Wheezy, he's at 100%. He's going after the IS-3. We have the Batchat 12G. He's finished off that guy, so now we're back to 8-10. This game looked like it was going to be a fucking in the bag, but maybe not here. So I'm looking for the Centurion 7.1. I'd really like to see him pop. I thought for sure he might decide to come down here, but he didn't. So I'm going to try to give this Wheezy a little bit of help here. Waiting for the Object 430 to come over the hill. Come on, buddy, where are you? Nope, he didn't decide to do it. However, we have problems at base. We have an E50 fucking faced off against a Foch 155. This doesn't work. Now, I'm playing my tank to the strength, and this tank, of course, is as strength as his turret, so which is excellent here. So I'm going to drop up here on the Fok, I'm sorry, and pick up the Batchat 12T coming in here. I'll finish him off. And now I got 2 on base, so I know I got the Fok here, and I got the other Batchat 12T here. So, using my strength here, of like I said, of my turn, there's not really much he can do about it. He can try to shoot me, or the 50. Yeah, which isn't going to work, because even with the Fok 155, he doesn't have much of a chance to pen me. So I'm trying to see if I can get here on the Batchat 12T. He's being kind of a dick. See if we put a round of shell on the Foch. Yeah, there we go here. Back up here, pull a dinker. I should have just took off the fucking auto aim, but I was thinking about going to make a run at him. However, it didn't work out that way. So they're pushing on him, see if they can finish him off here. Oh, nope. E50 finishes him off. Yeah. Very strong tank. I can't say that enough about this tank, how strong this tank is in a hold down position, how strong tank is against other tier 8s in certain positions. strong against the 9s and the 10s. Yeah, it just has a lot going for it. I love the 20-pounder on here. It's such a nice little peppy gun. Great soft stats, good penetration, and of course a good DPM on them. So we're moving up here. They got 33 seconds left on the capture, and one Centurion 7-1 left here. I'm not terribly sure where he's at. We'll see if we can find him. He didn't get spotted much of the game. He got spotted early on. Yeah, oh, there he is. He's hiding behind there. Wheezy 111 finishes him off. Yeah, there we go. So ended up with a little bit over 2,500 on a blind shot. So yeah, not a bad game in the old Centurion 5-1 once again in a tier 10 match. All right, back with the last game in the Centurion 5-1. And I'll be honest with you, I played like 6 games with this thing, and I think I had 4 games at least right at 100,000, if not more. I think it's something like 90,000, between 90 and 110,000 with these games. So yeah, 4 out of 6. It's just a solid performing tank at 357. You play it right, you get in the right positions, which isn't much. It doesn't take much for this tank. You get into a hold down position and you just shoot shit. The gun's accurate enough, has enough punch. It has a strong turn here. Pick up the T44. Of course, the T44 just fucking throws one up there because why not? Pick up the Pershing. I'm not sure what the fuck he was up to. And we got the Centurion 1 here. Now, I'm getting a little pokey here because I don't understand this Pershing keeps poking right here. I got a Type 5, a Type 4, and all kinds of other shit right here. So I pick up with the Centurion here. We can see if we can keep this hill. Centurion 1 has similar armor to that this tank does. So yeah, I'm just going to try to do what I can. He switched to APCR. Or he maybe got it loaded already, I don't know. Ooh, there's an OHO. Nice. Snappy gun. Bounce another one from Centurion. And the Persian keeps fucking poking. I don't get why. I got all this shit back here. And yeah, they're too busy fucking not paying attention. Put another shell into the Pershing. Oof. So I got finally the Type 5 shows up here. And we're gonna see what we can do here. Once again, play the tank as it needs to be. And you can side scrape with this. I wish I would have probably wish I had that other video. I lost it after the last update where I think I had like almost 3K blocked, and all of it was just side scraping off of a corner. Because if you notice the tracks on this tank, the width on them, you can make it work. You can pull around a corner and side scrape against mostly mediums. You can do it against tier 8 heavies too if you really need to here. So working here with the Type 5 heavy, I'm trying to get up the hill. We have the Batchat 12T up there. We got an E100 and a T10. Yeah, E75, 2 E75s, a KV4. It's not looking too hot here, so come on, pull in here, buddy. Yeah, let's see if we put a shell in there. He's getting a little carried away with himself. If he keeps poking like that, he's going to get wrecked. So, pull around here. Try and give the Type 5 a little bit of help. Oh, Pershing, what are you going to do, buddy? He don't know. M4A1 finishes off the TVP. Yeah, that's... sometimes I just can't figure these games out. 4-3 right now. We have a push coming down the 8-9 line. We have nothing happened over on the 1-2 that kind of stalled out. However, we have a bunch of shit hanging out right here. So I'm trying to cover this Type 5 as much as I can. I'm trying to keep these guys off his side. So we're just going to wait here. Yep, there's the Type 5. He's finally made it up into a pretty decent position. And he just wrecked that fucking M4A1 for 1,300. Which is fine. So now we can roll here. So the Pershing, he's hiding. The OHO is like, okay. So he's going to poke up here. I just threw one up there. I kind of did not take a aim on it. I should have probably aimed. But you never know. I always get unlucky with those kind of things. I come around the corner. OHO throws up a bullshit shot. Hits me for 700. Tracks me in the open. Yeah, that's how it works. So I'm going to go up the hill here. Type 5's got this well handled. All he's got left here, of course, is the Pershing, and then the STA1's moving through here. However, I do have a bunch of shit over here to shoot at, so let's get up on the hill. E75, KV4, they're pushed off against quite a number of tier 10s and tier 9s here. So we're going to pull around here and see what we can do. We got the Tortoise coming through here. What you doing, Tort? What you doing? Oh, never mind. We'll finish off the MX-30B. There he is. There's the Tort. He's just kind of rolling along real slow. Finishes him off, and I find the other Centurion hanging out. So, back up. E100, Tort, T10, and Centurion 1 on this side, and they all have is a couple on the other side, plus artillery. So, what do we got here? Now, I didn't realize at this point that I had lost my gunner here. So, looking here at the tortoise, yeah, we can do this with a broken gunner, right? Put a shell into his upper cupola, and we're going to look around here. We got Centurion 1 left, E100, and yeah, love that 10 degrees gun depression. It's so nice here. T10 just fired. We'll pull around here, put a shell right into his plate. Once again, you're not spamming a bunch of premium shells with this tank. You don't have to if you don't want to. I mean, obviously you're going to need it in some situations, but for the most part, that gun is perfectly fine at penetrating not tiers 9s and most 10s that you run into, of course, unless you're talking about a head-on Jagdpanzer U100 or something bullshit like that. You know, unless you get the lower plate, yeah, you know. But for the most part, you're never going to have a real hard time of penning anything. So pick up the bat chat. 12. Oh, there we go. BC, come on. Oh, he hits me for 367. Fucking tier 10. Leaves me on 45 health. And of course, that's about the time I realized my gunner was broke. Shit. So, around the corner we go. Torts hanging out here. The E100, the Centurion, and the T10 have pushed pretty hard. We've got one E75 killed off and the KV4 here. So I'm just going to hang out here, wait for the bat chat to show up, and fuck, he gets killed. I didn't get to kill him. Oh well. So, T10, E100. They've decided to get kind of ballsy here. There's the Tort. He's just fucking hanging out. I'm not sure what he's up to. So I'm not going to poke around there. You might get lucky and probably load HE or some shit. So the T10's killed the E75, KV4. Now we have a Progetto 65 because that fucking guy right there, you ever see him in a game, just fucking kill him. He is a camping fuck every game. Huh. Alright, back to me. So T10, and I'm just waiting for him to fire. He's not paying attention, that's alright. Stick a nice shell in him, 223. Oh, let's see what the T10's up to. T10's like, eh. Okay, T10 just fired at the KV4. It's alright, we'll come around the corner. Once again, good positioning. Puts a nice shell into the T10. Okay, so we got the Tort, T10, and the T54 Mod 1. And now the Progetto 65 finally gets in the fucking game. Ugh. So, Type 5 Heavy is going to face off against the Tort. See if we can give him a little bit of help here. Come around the corner here, pick up the Tortoise. I'll put a shell in the Tort there. And now I'm trying to get a track shot on it. I don't care what the fuck they did to this tank. It's turned into just a fucking beast. I should be, yeah. So, one more shot into the Tort. Put him into the side here for 220. Yeah. So the Progetto 65T has finished off the T10. And now he's finished off the Tort. Yeah, that's what he does. You ever see that guy? I'm just saying. So, T84 Mod 1 finishes off the Bulldog. So yeah, once again, just a very strong tank at 7, 8, 9, or 8, 9s, and 10s because of the turret, because of the gun, because of its accuracy and soft stats with that gun. Get it in a good position, and it's not going to fail. And I'm talking about, this is, like I said, above average, not above average, average players in World of Tanks will do well in this tank. This doesn't require a whole lot of thinking, doesn't require a whole lot of, you know, understanding of how the maps work and where you should go with the tanks. You just fucking find some place, you hull down behind it, and you shoot shit. Pretty simple tank. So thanks for watching, guys. You guys have a good